I just want to take this time and thank fucking Manny Pacquiao, man. This guy's
Shout out to the Filipinos.
42, 43, Filipino. You know, you guys are savages. You guys are, your women are sexy. I've dated some Filipinos, very forgiving women. Oh, for sure. Fat asses. Very giving and submissive. I'll tell you. Some of them are hoes. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are hoes. I've met the hoes and I met the nice girls. And I'll tell you, both professionals. No hard feelings, none of that.
Yeah.
Baby, did they win?
They won, baby. 2-1. Fucking last minute goal too.
Woo!
So I was at the game there with my dad, and we haven't. The last game they had in Vancouver was a year and a half ago, man.
Damn.
A year and a half ago,
Year
and that was,
and a half ago.
And I was telling my dad, I was like, Dad, the last time we were here was also the last time that there was a game here. That was like over 500 and X days ago or whatever.
Jesus.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm glad the Whitecaps win. Honestly, anything out of Vancouver, I support it, but I just don't care. Let's start it off, man. Let's start it off easy. Okay?
Easy?
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah. You know what an estimator is?
Estimator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you estimate the costs of a certain project, right?
Either time or cost, or both.
Yeah, which is fair. Now I want you to estimate this.
Okay.
In the possibilities of life.
Okay.
And the ones that you've experienced, what is the worst red flag you see in women nowadays? Like the number one thing, like you see this and you're like, you're running away, you're flying away. Obviously, regular shit, it's like murder. This person.
Yeah,
like,
okay, that's kind of like.
That's
that's
obviously.
Sure, that's not a red flag. That's like fucking. That's like a bomb going off.
Exactly. So that aside, the simple shit aside. We're talking about the gray area. This is 50 Shades of Gray, baby.
Sure.
Of all things. Like everything. We're talking about every fucking thing.
I'm talking
so
you're
like saying
my first red flag for me to like.
Okay, so let's say you don't notice that she's superficial, but you notice that she's a hoe. So that's not your first red flag?
I thought that was one of the obvious ones.
That's not obvious.
Oh, that's not obvious?
That's not obvious. How's that obvious? Because hoe, what does hoe mean, right? Hoe is a very general term of endearment getting thrown around these days in 2021. You know what I mean? It's not something you can actually put a number on. It's a quality, not a quantity.
When you're saying hoe, what do you mean by that?
What do I mean? I'm asking you the question. You're flipping it on me?
No, because you're the one who said it.
Okay, I take over.
As the red flag.
This is the problem with hoe. Hoe can be determined based on the person judging.
Sure.
So your hoe is going to be different than my hoe.
That's a very good point.
So my hoe, it's, again, it only matters if you care what the person's, like, the guy is trying to say. But my hoe is somebody, like, it's not a number.
It's a mentality.
It's a mentality.
Yeah.
Right? It's a take mentality, and it's a take without equal responsibility of what you're taking. So if you're taking something from me, you have to understand, you have to give me something in return.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
Okay, for example, we know this, right? As a man, someone breaks into the house, who's going to go to the door? Who's going to go check out who it is?
It should be the man.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So if I'm paying for, let's say I'm paying for dinner, you're giving me all the signs.
Yeah.
You should not curve me end of the day. And if you do curve me, that's another reason why I shouldn't pay next time I meet a girl.
Yeah.
And the next time and next time and next time. To the point where now, right, people come up to you and say, who hurt you? Who hurt you and shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, nobody hurt me. I'm just a consequence of my experiences with the opposite sex or whatever you're into. You're into guys, you're into girls, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, man, that's what a hoe means to me, man. It's someone.
So wait, so a hoe is just someone who doesn't give you what you want?
No, hoe is somebody that doesn't understand the set responsibilities on the table. Okay, for example, that aside, let's say, for example, I'm super alpha male or I'm like super beta. Regardless, I either pay for it or I don't, right?
Yeah, sure.
And we keep going and keep going. Eventually, if you move in with me and we get into a relationship, I have to start paying for everything most of the time, because if I'm making more money than you, which is usually the girls that I go for, I'm making more money than them.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing that, then there is a set responsibility for me to take over certain areas.
Yeah.
Which means you have duties as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you don't do your duties, but you expect me to do mine, you're a hoe.
That's your definition
That's
of
a hoe. That's a hoe.
That's probably the first time I've ever heard anybody define the word hoe.
That's
like
a hoe.
That's very interesting.
And another thing. There's aspects of hoe, right? I told you hoe's not a number. You notice I never even said a number.
Yeah.
Right? It's a quality.
Sure.
Right? These are all the qualities a hoe has.
Mhm.
Right? It's not one thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's crucial as a guy to be able to see these things and seek them out very early before you waste your time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's 8 billion people in the world, man. You're going to come across 100,000 in your life if you're doing it right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So that being said, you have to notice these things. And we're just trying to say things that help other people so they don't waste their time later on. Like someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, well, you know, some 17-year-old or some shit, 16-year-old, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You want them not to waste their time. One of the other things is like, if I look at your Instagram and you got like 10,000 fucking, you know, followers and shit.
Yeah.
If I check out your first 3 pics or videos and you got like 40 dudes saying what's up, even if you curve all of them, you'd have too much sustainability for different options for me to be interested in. You're a hoe.
So you could never date a model. Any kind of model. I'm not talking about like your typical, like any kind of model.
Date
you could just never
and
date.
relationship to me is different though.
You could never be in a relationship with any kind of model. Then is what you're saying.
Why would I want to be? Why would I want to be in a relationship with a model?
Why not?
She has too many things to take her away. Why would I do? I would date them. Would I get with them? See them? Hell yeah. Would I take them seriously? Probably not. You got your ass out.
Yeah.
And like, there's different types of models. I might date a model, but she might be like the very few percentage that aren't like ass cheeks out every fucking Tuesday.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that might be a possibility, but it's a very okay. How many models do we have? How many numbers of them don't put ass cheeks? It's like a very small percentage.
Not even just that, but dude, you got to realize that modeling is a very short-term life thing for most girls.
I mean, how long can you model really? Like,
well, a lot of girls don't even feel like getting. A lot of girls just only do it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
But if you meet her during those 2 years, you're viewing her as a model. And you're like, well, I'm ruling myself out of getting a relationship with this girl because like whatever.
Listen.
But then you meet her like 2 years later.
Yeah.
When she's like, 32, and she's like, oh yeah, I just did because like I was having someone sent me an offer to do modeling.
Off your body. That's
yeah,
what
but
it's
like
under.
I'm talking about a model agency.
Yeah, okay.
Some dude sees you like, hey, pay you 10 grand, you do some whatever, and then you're talking about literally like showing tits and vaginas on fucking OnlyFans.
Hey, be respectful, man. Some of these OnlyFans people are single moms.
Did you hear that they're gonna stop doing it in October?
Yeah, I heard.
Fully legit.
Woo! What does that mean? Fully legit.
No nudity. No adult content of any kind on OnlyFans starting October 2021.
But when you see stuff like that happens, it's just luck of the draw. The same luck that made them that way, that they made money until now, is the same luck that they can't make money from whenever point. When is it? October?
October, yeah.
Right? So it's just my opinion. You know, it might be a controversial one. It might be a hot topic one. People might say I'm a hater for that. And that's okay. But listen, I firmly believe if you, woman, man, whatever, transgender, whoever, if you make a thing, you make a brand, you make a business, you make whatever, you make something out of nothing, a scratch. You're some sort of, late-term pioneer in a certain way, in a certain aspect. In your own eyes, in your own life, you're a pioneer. You work hard at it, you struggle through it, you make it, you get help, whatever. You struggled, you work hard, you put hours in.
Yeah.
That's respectable. Whatever you do, whether you're a porn star or whatever, that's sick. I respect Alexis Texas the same way I respect fucking, who is it? Fucking Pipes, whatever the fuck his name is.
Pipes?
Yeah, Steel Pipes. What's this guy's name, man?
Steel Pipes.
Yeah, bro. This guy was like hot in 06.
This is a porn star? Or what
yeah,
is
it's like this like black guy that fucking got like a 14-inch cock, man. He's like a famous guy. Bro, this guy's low key, man. Dude, you gotta do more research. The guys, man. You gotta do more research on Pornhub, my guy.
Pipes?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what you told me. The more time you spend time on this, why don't you spend it on, instead of Wikipedia, look up Pornhub sometime, my guy.
I do, but I don't memorize, black guys from 2006. I wasn't watching porn back then.
Don't you pick up their game, though?
I wasn't watching porn back then.
Hold on. But you don't look at, like, classics?
No, not those
classics. Dude, this is the thing, okay? You have to look at everybody I believe you have
Listen,
to look.
Don't be shaming me because you can't fucking remember some black dude's dick.
No.
That's
I'm
on you.
I'm not shaming you. I'm just letting you know.
That's
like,
on you.
You pick up game. Like, you know how you're a kid and you watch Kobe Bryant and you're like, okay, I gotta learn how to do his fadeaway shake.
Sure.
Boom, I gotta do that, right? Then you look at my guy Pipes, right? Steel Pipes, whatever the fuck his name is, right? And you're like, yo,
ridiculous.
This guy is bouncing 2 girls simultaneously,
Listen,
like out of orbit.
If you're getting your sex game from porn, you need to redo some shit, man.
No. It's not that you learn your sex game. It's that you pick up what you can pick up, right?
Sure.
It's the same analogy we go back a few days, but
at best, whatever.
Dude, I was gonna say 7.5, which is a fact, but like
I think it's a lie.
When you say a dude got a 14-inch dick, even if you come out with a 9, you came in small. You know what I mean? You're taking a Tesla to a semi-truck rally. Come on, son. Anyway, going on from that. But what I'm saying is you pick up what you can and you go from there.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my view. You told me you're a red flag, right? You want to retract anything right now or what?
Well, if we're saying that the whole thing isn't obvious, and yeah, sure, obviously that's the number one. Listen, when I meet or even talk to girls for the first time, I'm already like trying to figure out for myself if this is someone that I want to either go out with on an actual date or potentially get to a relationship. And I look at things like, okay, is this girl coming off as self-centered? Is this looking like she's like, is she self-centered, selfish, or like negative in any way? Is she talking shit about people? Is she...
Yo, check out the fucking thing. Embers. Estimated cock size, basically.
Sponsored shirts, 100%.
Backdoor Bosnia, what's up, my guy? How's the bush, man? Well, sponsor shirts. Hell no, man.
OG Mudbone. That's what they think it is. That's not who it is, though.
Does the shirt say white pea?
White caps. White caps is what it says.
White caps, bro. No, just porn. You must watch OF videos in your spare time.
OnlyFans.
Fucking OG Mudbone. Yeah. That's fucking Steel Pipes. OG fucking.
It's not OG. The guy made one video in his life.
Really?
Yeah. That you know OG Mudbone?
No, I'm talking. I know the guy. I know the guy. I know what he died, huh?
Yeah.
He died. I know.
Like the t-shirts.
Yeah.
Of it
Yeah. No, it's not that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking. Dude, 7.5 millimeters, dude. Minus 7.5.
From the ground.
Retracts in.
Jesus.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck we got those fucking animated emojis.
That's not. We didn't send. He's talking about Embers. Embers has the animated emojis.
Yeah, cool, sick. All right, sweet.
So yeah, those are my red flags.
Yeah.
Like if you're being selfish, self-centered, or like negative in any way,
yeah,
I'm automatically just not gonna want to talk to you anymore. And then once we like get into whether it's like a first date or whatever, then maybe I'm asking you more questions like, okay, do I get the impression this girl sleeps around a lot? Like, does she?
What are some impressions? Tell us some of our young kings. Like, what are some things you pick up quick? Give me 2, 3. Quick, 2, 3. Like, you see a girl, you're like, she's a hoe. What is the 2, 3 things that you get picked up on?
I think the easiest ones if she talks about her, like, okay, one obvious one for a lot of people that may not realize, if this girl parties a lot,
yeah,
chances are
party. You do we mean like
going out every? Yeah, I'm talking like going out every Friday to like the clubs, and because we're talking like to our young kings.
Yeah, young kings
going out to the clubs all the time, going out parties. Most likely
Maple Ridge slut, baby.
Most likely that shit's going down, right? So your complete opposite are like the quieter girls who's like, oh yeah, I don't really go out that much. Like I really just like hang with the girls. Sometimes we'll go out like hiking and stuff. That's like the easy way.
So when you say it like that, right?
Yeah.
You say it like that, right?
Yeah.
What is one thing you just said that you don't describe in a hoe? What's another thing you just
the volume, like how loud they are.
Nope. We want another try?
What?
Submissiveness.
Oh yeah.
How you described a nerdy girl.
That's like the complete opposite.
Complete opposite.
That's
so let's go into that too.
Yeah.
The submissiveness, like how submissive, like how much do you want to lead? Because I would consider myself more traditional thinking than you are.
Yeah.
I want to lead 100% of the time. It's
sure.
not. I'm not saying like it's a Muslim household.
Yeah.
But if I'm busting my ass,
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to be dispatched. I want to know what the fuck's going on.
Sure.
I want to know if my kid got into a fight. I want to know if fucking, you're going to go to a party with your, who's at that party.
Yeah.
I want to know this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I'm putting money down. I'm putting time down.
Yeah.
Right? So, of course, I want to know that.
I think.
What do you think?
I'm similar in some ways with that because and I've mentioned this before, and even to other girls I've mentioned this before, like girls that I've been in relationships with, and it's funny because that's at some points during relationships it almost like falls into place without you having to say it out loud.
Yeah.
So if you as a guy, you're automatically just start paying for like the dinners. You're not saying, oh hey, I'm going to start paying for all the dinners. You just start doing it, and then it becomes assumed. And then if your girl starts cooking for you and then you're expecting that,
listen to me,
without you saying it, those values that you had for yourself,
right,
without you having to say them out loud, they actually, once they start happening for you and you continue doing them,
right,
then they become what you actually want in the relationship. So all of a sudden, once those things are not there, then you're like, hey, what the fuck, babe, you used to cook dinners when I got home, and now we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, you know that I'm gonna clean on fucking Saturdays, but the deal was that not the deal, the unsaid. It's when people start saying like unsaid, the things unsaid.
Yeah.
You were gonna iron clothes and whatever on the Sunday.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
A lot of those things happen without you like sitting down and discussing them. Like, it's not like you sit down with your girl and do like,
it only
hey,
happens. Hold on. It only happens if you have the right girl that understands these mentalities, which is very hard to find in this new age.
And to be fair, like, it's not going to be, even if you find like the right girl.
Don't say it like that because there's so many right girls.
No, but that's what I said like this. The right girl, you're going to.
The right girls.
Yeah, girls.
In the world that could be the right girl.
You, and when I mean you, I mean like you, the young king, or like us, whatever.
Yeah.
We're all inherently fucked up.
How?
We got a lot of issues in the sense like we're not all the same. So.
Are we? Or are we not?
No, we're 100% not. So there's going to be certain things that I'm going to want that you're not going to want, and vice versa. There's going to be some very.
Do you like a nice booty or no?
100%, bro.
Okay.
We both share some traditional mindsets.
Afghanistan is a free fucking state. They don't even have the type of organized government. Just
gonna cut into that. Intro the people, man.
Intro the people. So Afghanistan, America has
just
fucking
right into it.
Yeah. Because
balls deep.
just balls deep, man. That's how we go. Afghanistan is basically
going through some deep ass shit right now.
In a way where they have no help from any government body to help them combat with Taliban. And Taliban has pretty much, they're a gang that has all the ammo, all the weaponry, a lot of the men, the extremist men that were recruited towards them. And because Afghanistan is a free state, because of the last fucking 20 years of America being there, they never developed, America left without them developing an actual government body for them to be able to regulate things, regulate their people. So they're basically living, like you said when we talked, like tribes, right?
That's how they kind of came up as a country. It's tribes.
Not enough governing bodies. This is the problem. It's like we all talk about how we hate Trudeau and all that shit, and we hate the West and all this. Bro, if you have no governing body, you have no healthcare. You have no, like, there's no tax getting reducted, but there's also people coming out of your door and asking you for fucking taxes, which aren't even fair. You're talking about you're crying about 40% taxes here or whatever the fuck, marginal 40, whatever, and over there it's a marginal fucking 70. And you have nothing. You're not making dick. They're fucking farmers and shit in a fucking basically
for sure
one of the hottest areas that very little grows in that area, in that climate.
Can I share what I know? You can correct me at any point if I misstep here. So from what I've seen, this has been like a colossal fuck up on so many levels because the U.S. came and said, hey, listen, we're going to pull out entirely. And people are like, oh, yeah, sure, that's great. You know, we've been in Afghanistan for so long. It's time to get out there finally.
Yeah.
And their own intelligence, the Pentagon, fucking defense secretary, everybody involved in that end from the States, they're all like, oh, yeah, if we pull out, it's going to take the Taliban months to take Kabul.
Yeah.
Fucking took them like 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was like
they're gonna have to sell it.
Tragic on tragic. They're like, oh yeah, it's like in the internal memos, they're like, oh yeah, for sure, it's not gonna be, it's gonna be like a gradual thing. Like we'll pull out, and then the Afghan forces that we've trained, they're gonna be fine, and they'll hold them back for a bit.
Yeah.
They did not.
Nothing, huh?
As soon as the Taliban came in, Afghani forces were like, all right, we're out. And I tried looking up things from different sources. So obviously your classic American ones, your New York Times, your Wall Street Journals, or whatever. Yeah. I also tried I looked up Al Jazeera because I'm like, let's see what these guys have to say about this. What I found very interesting was from Al Jazeera, and actually at the beginning of the New York Times, the general like writing, like what they were trying to project was that the Taliban were not being violent about this. Like they kind of just came in, they took Kabul, they basically went to the Afghani soldiers and like, listen, you don't want to do this. You haven't been paid for 2 months, right? The guy's like, no, here's $100, go home. No need to fight. And the guys were like, all right, we're out. Plus, a lot of the Afghani forces were scared that they were going to get like fucking murked because they'd been supporting the West for so long that Taliban was going to come in and kill them and their whole families. Yeah. So they're like, listen, whatever. If you want to take us $100, all right, we're out. So they just steamrolled right through.
Right.
And that's why you had so many people rushing to get out because everyone was so fucking scared that it was going to be back like 20 years ago and the Taliban just came and like murked everybody. But it hasn't really been the case so far. And so from what I saw at the beginning from the New York Times and then also from Al Jazeera was that the Taliban actually haven't been that violent when they've retaken Kabul. They've been kind of like, all right, honestly, if everybody who wants to leave, they can just fucking leave. Because it's easier for us because we don't have to worry about killing them and like dealing with them and like fighting them out in the open. If they just want to go, they're gone, and that's just one less person that we have to deal with. So you think
the Taliban's paying off American soldiers?
Not the American soldiers, but the Afghanis. Yeah, the Afghanis. So that's kind of what I heard. Is that?
Can I have a rebuttal for this?
For sure.
One of my rebuttal for this is something you're hearing from where? I'm not gonna go Eddie Bravo on you, but
Al Jazeera was that's Qatar. Al Jazeera's Qatari.
Okay, so do you believe there's propaganda in all news?
Sure.
A lot of the stuff you're hearing, you got to hear both sides to actually learn from what's going on in the current events that are going on.
Yeah.
Right. I got family. I got family friends that are actually living out of Afghanistan.
Where in Afghanistan?
Different parts.
Okay.
Mostly Kabul.
Yeah.
And these are better off out of the general public.
Yeah. Okay.
To the point where they have cell phones, they can communicate, stuff like that.
Are they rushing to leave?
No.
So they're fine.
Not necessarily. They're not really necessarily rushing to leave because these are the same people that have a house in Iran.
So are they fine?
They're okay.
So how do they feel about this whole thing?
This is if you put in a video camera in front of the climax of what's going on and you zoomed in, this is the stuff that you're going to get. You're going to get this kind of production.
Which is
you're going to get high dramatic events that happen over and over, and you're gonna get people in a panic saying, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Yeah,
this is the thing. Taliban is not a real threat to the United States. Period.
Oh yeah,
done. Right? This is not a real threat. Afghani forces, please, bro, please.
Sorry, bro.
Afghani forces are not even. They don't. Without the help of Americans, they stand no chance because as small as Taliban is, the Afghani forces are even less.
That's what we saw, right? 100%.
That's pretty much their primary and only governing body is the Afghani soldiers. Okay, but without the help of the United States, they're pretty much abolished. Bro.
I saw videos of their training. Man, bad.
Disgusting, terrible.
So
bad. There's PE teachers. There's legit PE teachers.
Yeah, I believe it.
Telling people what to do, Imagine taking a PE teacher out of any high school in the Lower Mainland and being like, okay, now you're a sergeant.
There's a video floating around of them doing it like a training exercise, and the Afghani soldiers couldn't do jumping jacks.
Stop the cap, bro.
Like I wish I was kidding.
So, one thing I gotta say though is, these people, right, to save Afghanistan and to keep it healthy, like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not that much money and compensation that's paid towards the Americans to keep them there. Because if you look at South Korea, Americans have been there for 70 fucking years.
Oh yeah.
Stationed out of Korea. right? So
bases.
how much big bases? So
Big.
how much is that costing?
A lot of money.
A lot of money, right? So
it's not just the big bases. They got a fucking one of the biggest fleets.
Right.
The U.S. Navy fleets is right outside Korea.
Right, absolutely. And to keep people safe, you could say that it's almost worth it to have Americans there, because what that does is keep the peace in that Middle Eastern area. Plus, if you're an American or you're American governor or president or whatever, whoever dictates these things, because we know for sure this government shit is a puppet.
Yeah. So you're saying it's like a deterrent to
not only is it a deterrent, but it's also a benefit for them to have the upper hand if they ever want to take over a place like Iran.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right? Now you pulled out, you're gonna let China, and China's an ally of Iran.
So why do you think the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan? Just too long in one area, or what? Can't have been that.
They pulled out because there's not enough resources and there's not enough benefits for them to be out of that area, which is funny to me, because just to have a room guys that deal drugs, you know what they do?
Like here or where?
Lower Mainland.
Okay.
Because that's my experience mostly.
Yeah.
They have a place downtown.
Yeah.
Just like a studio suite.
Sure.
Just keep everything there. They only carry what they need to carry with them while they're downtown and while they're giving out.
Yeah.
And then they have a house here or an apartment here.
Okay, like Tri-Cities, you mean?
Tri-Cities or somewhere away from downtown.
Right.
This is where they relax.
Yeah.
Less cops, less things to deal with.
Yeah.
And that is where they stash their shit. It's like a crack house, basically, right?
Crack house in downtown.
Exactly.
Right.
Afghanistan to America could have been a crack house in order to take over places like Iran.
Right.
Right. But I don't think that they have the idea to take Iran over anymore.
Yeah.
Under Biden, I don't firmly believe. They probably will come back to it with a different strategy.
Right.
But I think they've given up on this Afghani strategy to come out from that way. Because they got Israel.
Yeah.
They got, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
They got, Yemen. They got all these places. Now they're trying to come through. That being said, it's just funny, man. It's just funny because you can't to reallocate these funds.
Yeah.
It's not gonna take much, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we're gonna give back to the kids now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
It's not like that.
Yeah. Fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are we doing?
Are we doing? They should. But yeah. Right. That's happening.
Another side to this, I want to say, is people from here. No disrespect to you. You try to get your information. At least most educated people try to get their information from a reasonable source, right?
Or multiple.
But what I noticed is that some people, right, they try to instantly give themselves gratification and saying like they earned some type of degree that they now understand what the problems are in that area when you've never stepped outside of North America.
I can speak to this too, actually.
Right, so it's like
I want you to keep going with that, but I want to talk on that too.
No, if you want to go ahead, you go ahead.
Because I want to keep this on Afghanistan for a bit.
Yeah.
But
you want to switch over?
No, because a few like last year.
Yeah.
There was a whole thing in Bolivia where there was an uprising and the ex-president was exiled.
Yeah.
There was a revolt from the people, and then a newly installed person of power was put in, but then I have legit, like, just like you in Afghanistan, I have like my aunts, like I have people who live, like my mom is from there.
Real firsthand information.
Legit firsthand, like people going actually out into the street telling me what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But yet I'm being told from like my friends, people who like supposedly know, like they read in this stuff about certain things because they heard from some other reporter or some scholar. I'm like, that's great. I got people there.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So keep going.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so
because this just happened to me.
Yeah.
And I had somebody, I'm not going to name who,
but
I should out you if I was a terrible person, but I'm not.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, I had somebody tell me, I have a international relation degree from some like third C class like university.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean that now you know what's going on over there because you read it in some book that was dated 4 years before you studied it?
Yeah.
Is that true then? Because I have dudes I'm calling every week and I'm asking them, hey, you step outside, what'd you see? That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at these people, the funny thing is they think that because they're posting something on their Instagram story or whatever kind of social media, now they're some type of activist.
It is called, I think it actually is called social media activism.
Yeah, and it's
It can be.
Whack.
No, I don't want to say whack all the time because it can be sometimes good. Because one of the big problems with these kind of issues where like these countries go through like revolts or like these crises, if there's no visibility at all from a global scale, then they're totally fucked. Like if they're in the dark and no one's seeing this shit at all, then they're in some real trouble. So there is a benefit to having presence globally, like having some kind of like light shine on you so that people can see what's going on. So we saw similar things happening in Hong Kong where the activists there, like these guys were protesting fucking daily. You saw the shit back then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Being able to share that so people around the world can see it is big.
Huge.
Same thing happened with the Arab Spring. People around the world saw it. So right? So there is or like Ukraine as well. When Ukraine is going through their shit, everybody in the world saw those photos of like the square like on fire. But well, the Venezuelans, okay. So what he's mentioning is very interesting.
Backdoor Bosnian is mentioning Venezuelans. So he's saying, yo, what about the Venezuelans, Hector?
So there's something interesting to be said about South America in general. I mentioned Bolivia, but because our boy over here is mentioning the Venezuelans, we'll talk about them quickly. So the Venezuelans, were you aware at all like what you saw?
Don't include me because I don't know shit.
But did you hear? No, because this kind of almost adds to my point.
I've heard.
Yeah, so that's good because that means that at least people are hearing
global,
about it. Yeah. So the Venezuelans had an issue where their president, who was president for a very long time, Hugo Chavez, one of Fidel Castro's boys, like they were like this.
Rest in peace.
He died. Then the new guy came in, and somehow, and I'm not super well versed in the OG Venezuelan politics, but somehow Hugo Chavez maintained a sense of stability in the country. Yeah. Even though he was corrupt as fuck and he was totally exploiting the country's resources and the oil and like
you gotta rep your set.
Listen, even though he had a bunch of weird shit going on, he managed to keep at least the illusion of stability.
That's right. Keep the nutsacks high, baby.
Even if maybe it wasn't, the illusion was there.
Yeah.
As soon as he died and the new guy came in, it didn't take very long for that illusion to just fucking
disappear.
Gone.
The ball sacks dropped. The Botox
and
ran away.
All of a sudden, everybody saw what was behind the curtain, and inflation went fucking sky high.
AKA, for my layman boys, that's a fucking long-ass, wrinkly ball sack. That's the equivalence.
Basically. To the point where you couldn't pay to buy a loaf of bread with the money that you had because the money was basically worthless. Like it was, son. You could have had 50 G's in the bank.
Yeah.
But in 2 weeks' time, that 50 G's was now basically worth 5 G's.
Yeah.
Like it
tenfold.
It was like really like they went. It was terrible.
That's never happened in Canada.
No, never, dude. Like this hasn't happened in anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. It is to the point where people legitimately couldn't buy food to fucking eat. So people were starving. People were dying, like starting to die because they were starving. There were no really jobs to go around because nothing was paying anything. So people were like trying to figure out what to do. And so what my boy here mentioned is he actually sent me something the other day. At one point, some Venezuelans actually got a bit smart about this. And have you heard of the game RuneScape?
Of course.
Who hasn't, right? So anybody interested at all in more detail of what I'm saying, look up Venezuelan RuneScape money.
Yeah.
What they started to do was because they realized that obviously RuneScape is an online global platform where everything's equal. Doesn't matter where you're playing from, it's the same. In-game currency is the same. These guys started mining in-game resources to then sell for American money to then convert back to start making, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn.
And they did it for about, I think it's a year. I think they did it.
Wow.
And then they got shut down, obviously.
But good for them, man. Yeah. That's a way out.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy.
I just want to take this away, and there's 5 people following us. I know we're fucking whack.
Shout out.
But, if you're not following us, make sure you just follow us and click that like, click that follow and shit, and just follow us, man.
I think on Twitch. I think on Twitch it's just follow.
TikTok, we're Instagram, Funny But Foul Podcast. Back to regular programming, man. Continue with what you're saying.
Yeah, so that was cool what the Venezuelans did. Bolivia, back on this social media activism shit. When Bolivia went through their shit, they had a left-leaning indigenous president for about 8 years, I think.
Right.
He went through 2 election cycles. And in the third, depending on who you ask, the third one was basically a fraud in the sense that it shouldn't have happened because he had to rewrite the Constitution in order to allow himself to have a third term.
Whoa.
Because, in the States, there's a maximum 2-term limit.
2 term.
So in order to have
2-term Trump, baby.
Exactly. So so the Bolivian guy, same kind of deal. and that's constitution thing got approved in a very like murky, like kind of shady way. So some people weren't down with it.
Yeah.
And then when the election went through, people weren't down with that either. So they started like protesting against him, being like, "Hey, listen, like fuck you, you got to go out." So I have family, right, who was down there.
Yeah.
And they went to the rallies. Physically, they sent me photos. They're like, "We're at this rally, like there. Whatever, blah blah." I was being told from people here that there were like American agents being planted this was an American play to throw out the left-leaning guy, to put in a right.
Shit.
Yeah, like throw out the left guy, put in the right-leaning guy, because that would serve America's interest.
Those YouTube bots, man, showing
up
in person.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But to just discount all the efforts that these people are putting into their efforts.
Yeah.
Is some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I started taking it personally because I'm like, I have my aunts, my cousins, they are there.
Yeah.
They're supporting that cause.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that this isn't coming from the people.
Right. Absolutely.
And so when I heard that, I was like, that's when I was
son.
like, what the fuck, right?
Cut the cap.
And I understood that, yes, there's going to be some shit where technically there's an agenda everywhere. So I get it. It wasn't like the cleanest thing, because they did actually overthrow the guy, and like he had to go into exile in Mexico, and like it was all all like very murky. And then they had to replace him. Some other right-leaning person came in. But when I heard that shit about like people from here who have no idea, who have never talked to me about Bolivia ever.
Yeah, never.
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
It's one thing if, let's go back to this person who said like international relations. It's one thing if you're to say, I've studied international relations for 10 years, and I've been to Afghanistan 3-4 times.
Yeah.
And I'm in touch with some of the people down there and blah, blah, blah.
You're active.
Yo, that's legit.
Right?
I can't talk against that.
Yeah.
If you're telling me you got institutions you work with there that are talking to you and updating you and asking you for help and like how to do.
You're a journalist at that point.
Not only that, but you are clearly active now.
Yeah.
Even if you're not physically there, you're active. But if you've never talked about this place before,
and you're picking up third-party news sources,
and now you're saying that you know about this because you're gonna pull up some like
meme from Facebook,
or like your fucking credentials that didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, C-class fucking university.
What? Even if it was an A class, who the fuck cares? If you got that 10 years ago, but you haven't utilized it in this area ever until now, what the fuck?
Yeah, you don't know shit because you can't compare it to a dude.
What does that mean?
That has family or has a legitimate ties with the space that we're talking about, with the territory we're talking about.
For sure.
We actually have significant ties with that area. That's why we speak. Otherwise, if there was something going on in Ukraine, you think you're going to hear a peep out of me? Fuck no. I'm not going to say shit. Yeah. But when you're coming at me sideways thinking that your fucking stories are, the driving factor of, finding out what's going on here, let me tell you one thing. Sorry to break your bubble. First of all, you're not special. A lot of people that just want attention, they rely on the news and they just post about it. A lot of people fucking do that. You're not an activist that way. Your fucking credentials mean dick because you're not using it. You're not there.
Yeah.
You're reading about some shit, so what does that fucking... Anybody could read about it. What does that have to do with your fucking credentials?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, coming at me sideways like that or coming at you sideways like that, it's like, it's whack because... Those people, going back to a while back when we were talking about being able to evaluate yourself and evaluate a situation, those people are out of fucking touch. They're delusional, basically, because they're thinking, okay, I read something somewhere, but this guy's from that area, from that region with people there.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything, but I know. You're fucking delusional. Get out of my face. You're a hoe.
Yeah.
Going from that to what just happened tonight, baby, with the white caps, man, and then fucking actually...
Well, what was happening while I was here?
Yeah,
you tell me about that.
While you were here, I just want to take this time and thank fucking Manny Pacquiao, man. This guy's
shout out to the Filipinos.
42-43 Filipino. You guys are savages. You guys are, your women are sexy. I've dated some Filipinos, very forgiving women. Oh, for sure, fat asses. Very giving and submissive. I'll tell you. Some of them are hoes. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are hoes. I've met the hoes and I met the nice girls. And I'll tell you, both professionals. No hard feelings, none of that.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I actually saw across the board was how they were so submissive and they were okay. They understood their role. Okay. Armand's gonna be paying for dinner. I'm gonna be sleeping over at his place. He's gonna cook me whatever, or he's gonna, buy me dinner. We're gonna fuck. We're gonna wake up. I'm gonna clean the house. He's gonna go to work. I'm gonna come back, see him in the afternoon.
Sure.
No words were talked.
Yeah.
But me, at that time, I wasn't. I that's not what I was looking for, so I didn't go far.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, they understood their roles, which was super smooth, no problems.
Right.
And we're not talking about 1 or 2. We're talking like 5 to 7.
Sure.
And they were all the same.
Yeah.
So shout out to you. Back to fucking Pacquiao, man. That's it. That's it for Pacquiao. That's it.
Tell me about it.
So
I'll have to watch it.
First
obviously.
4 or 5 rounds, I'd give it to Pacquiao, 10-9.
Yeah.
And then I would say...
Did he just crash?
The guy's 40 fucking 3, bro.
So did he just crash after that 5th round?
Well, yeah, man. The guy's 40 fucking 3. But I'll tell you, the other guy's name I can't fucking pronounce. It's like Yugia or some shit.
Yeah.
Exodia, whatever the fuck. That guy, honestly, one thing I gotta say, side note, dime piece of a fiance. Shout out to her.
Okay, sure.
But that aside, this guy was in the pocket. He hits way harder. The guy he was facing was probably 5'10", Cuban, black guy.
That's dangerous.
Power, younger, faster, more body shot, more headshots.
Yeah.
He basically found a spot for his right cross, which was a determining factor of the whole fight. That was it. It was the right cross.
Did anyone get dropped the whole fight? Any knockdowns?
No, but a lot of stumbles. A lot of like Pacquiao got stumbled like I would say 3 times.
Okay, yeah.
And then
noodle legs a couple times.
Yeah, and then but shout out to him, man. He did the best he fucking could.
Do you think this is it for Pacquiao? Like, do you think this is probably his last one, or do you think a couple more just for the money?
I think the guy is at that age and him doing it as long. I would say he is delusional. He has that fighting mentality where he's like, I still got one more.
I was gonna say, but can he still compete? I know he lost this one, but can he still
No.
compete?
No,
Okay.
not how he performed tonight.
Right.
Not how he performed tonight. Because you got to understand, this was the last one he did was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, the guy. When you go from 34 to 36, like when Nick Diaz got fucking suspended and cut.
He went fought for like 4 years, I think.
know that.
That's crazy.
Now he's coming back. Shout out to fucking Nick Diaz.
And Ronnie Lawler. Yeah.
Lawler, bro.
We'll be here for that live, guys, so make sure to check that out when we
Absolutely.
when it comes around.
We're going to go live at probably 7 or 7:30 for that one.
Yeah.
YouTube or Twitch? What are we doing for that?
We'll see if we can figure out both.
We're going to try for both, guys.
And if not, we'll do the Twitch because a lot of our I guess we'll do that too, huh?
Yeah, we'll do that too.
Yeah, we'll do that too.
We'll do one more. So I think that's it for fucking Pacquiao. I think he's going to probably push in 1 or 2, but it's not going to be in his favor, and he just doesn't have shout out to Hob Gatling, bro. Shout out, man.
Shout out to
Good
you, brother.
seeing you all the way from fucking Australia, bro. Savage. This guy's a fucking savage. So we're going to do that. One thing I got to tell you guys, though, the YouTube fucking
what?
The YouTube stream is garbage.
You're garbage.
Hey, I'm quality garbage.
I think
I'm high value man garbage.
Shut the fuck up. I think you're right. We were comparing the streams. The YouTube is not as crisp as Twitch.
Yeah, and the thing with Twitch, it has way better. You could clip it right away. You could do so many different things on Twitch that you can't do on. Even though it's not as big, it's growing way faster, I think.
We will try for both. Just anyone, if you guys prefer one of the other, we will try for both. But if we can't do both, we will prefer to do it on Twitch. So notes for that.
Going to what fucking Backdoor Bosnian said about Jake Paul, man.
Yeah.
Jake Paul, honestly, I would say if you wanna bet on Jake Paul, I'd say if he wins,
if the odds are like looking nice, put money on Jake Paul.
Yeah, put money on Jake Paul
because you're not going to win much. If the odds are good,
you're not going to win much with TYRON because if he wins, you're not winning much.
Yeah,
and if he loses, then you just lost money.
Then whatever.
Bro. Right. So that being that, what do you think is going to happen? 29th?
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks. Next week.
Next
Sunday. Next Sunday, right?
Yep.
I think Woodley takes it.
We got to do the stream on Sunday then.
Oh, that's true. Well, of course, we're doing it live. I think Woodley takes it. I think he'll get surprised though. I think Jake Paul's gonna show him more than he's expecting.
Yeah.
Because I think anybody, even if Woodley, because all these fighters, whenever they go into the fight, they're like, oh yeah, I'm not underestimating him because blah blah blah. I trained for all these fights. There's always like, we're human. We're always gonna have this like inherent bias that we have. So even if, like, let's say if next week we were to have a fight.
Me and you?
Yeah. Like, you're better.
Yeah.
But you still know that you have to prepare for it. Like, you just have to.
Can I?
Like anybody.
Hold on. I think that's a bad thing.
No, it doesn't matter.
Me and you?
Yeah.
I'm not prepping. No offense.
Oh,
no
so you don't want to get GSP'd then?
I'm not prepping for fighting you.
You don't want to get GSP'd.
What do you mean?
See, that's the risk. Because GSP and Matt Serra, same shit.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. These guys, one moment they'll slip and they're like, they won't take it seriously, and then they get caught by something that they didn't expect, because they're like, if I fight this guy 99, like 100 times, I win 99. But you're going to take a chance on that 1 out of 100? You might. Whatever that odd you think is, could be 1, 200, 1,000, whatever. Do you take that chance of you? Because there always is a chance.
There's always a chance.
Always.
Yeah.
So the very, very best take no chances.
Right.
They're like, fuck it. I don't care if I'm fighting a bum on the street tomorrow. I'm gonna fight him as if I was fighting the champ.
Yeah.
Because that's how I take care of my shit. I don't care if he's like bottom of the barrel drunk, or like this is the fucking double champ we're fighting.
Right. Okay.
The other guys will take that chance because it's natural. You're going to, because you're like, I don't need to. I know what I do. I know what that guy does. I don't need to like take him any more seriously than I would the other guy.
I got a little rebuttal for you.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. No disrespect.
I know,
dude,
but like
as a friend that I've known you, I used to hate you. I love you, man. You're a good fucking solid guy. No disrespect, but Jake and TYRON is not like me and you at all.
That's not the point, though.
I understand completely. I understand.
But you're gonna make it that point anyways.
No. I'm not. If that's not the point, I'm not even gonna go into it.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that, because these guys are both training. These guys are both prepping.
Yeah.
TYRON doesn't have a good chin, and Jake is coming up, so he could be a fucking surprise. It could be a fucking, those fucking videos where it's like, oh, you ever seen these? Where it's a TV show, right? And they put these transgender ladies in a club, and they get these guys.
That I haven't seen, actually. No.
They get these guys to pick up girls there, but the guys don't know which ones are which.
Oh, okay.
Right? So suddenly you're talking to a girl for an hour under these dark fucking lights.
Switch.
Boom! You come out. You see the light. You see the Adam's apple. Holy shit!
Surprise!
Dude.
Surprise!
It's Jake fucking Paul.
Surprise! You're in Thailand.
You know what I mean? Let's read some of these fucking chats right here. We got Backdoor Bosnian saying Jake's
right
1.5.
Right there. Read that last one. Read that paragraph.
Okay, with Hobgobbling, it says a few months back, Mark Hunt fought this ex-rugby player that was done some celebrity boxing and lost. Didn't train or eat properly. Honestly thought he'd know him out in a one punch, and the other guy dragged him into the latter rounds, and Mark Hunt just gassed out and quit.
Right there, that's one example. Right,
that's a toughie.
That's the shit. So that was crazy, because I think I saw an interview with GSP where he brought that up with the Matt Serra thing. He's like, after that, he's like, I will never again in my life do that. He's like, I believe. Sorry to cut you off. I believe 100% in this. If these guys are both fucking fighters, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Well, there's one. They're not fighters.
Yeah.
Well, that example right there, that guy's not a fighter.
But that's one. That one might be. That's true.
I mean, that's still closer than this, because
this is closer.
That's an ex-rugby player, but still
ex-rugby player. Those guys are savages,
bro. But you're still talking about Mark Hunt,
which is also a rugby player, basically.
Yeah, but Mark fucking Hunt.
How many times did he get knocked out?
Like once in his life.
Mark Hunt?
Yeah.
He's been knocked out once?
Seriously, like not once in his life.
Mark Hunt has been knocked out once. At least once. More than once. Okay, you keep
look
going.
that up. Look that up.
We keep going. Keep going with what you're saying.
He was he's world famous chin.
100%, yeah, but keep going with what you're saying.
No, that was it. That was just adding to the point of what I said about these guys. All it takes is these guys to not take it seriously one time, and then they get caught by some bullshit. And if you're fighting like an equal ranked fighter that's you, fine. No one's really going to hate on you for it, because like you slipped once, whatever, but the other guy's super dangerous. But if you take that same mentality with somebody who's not at your level, and then you get caught with some bullshit, now everybody's going to focus on that, because they're like, how the fuck did you get caught and lose to that guy?
Right.
So if Woodley has that slipping moment where he doesn't take Jake seriously for like, a round or like even like 10 seconds, and he gets caught by some bullshit, because if he doesn't take him seriously, Jake might not throw anything. It might just be like, well, there might just be clinching, whatever. But if in that split second where Woodley's not taking him seriously and Jake actually throws something with some power to it, and you get caught to that, Jesus, man, that could be really bad for Woodley. So that's what you want to avoid. You don't want to like have that moment where you're like, fuck it.
Okay, so I have a correction on yours. He's been knocked out 3 times. One by our boy Malvin Manhoof. That's the original one. That's the K1 shit.
Yeah, that's
and
a
then
strong boy.
Afterwards, he lost to he's
Roy
been
Nelson.
TKO'd a lot.
That's one. The KO punch was the
Junior
famous
Dos
one.
Santos.
Spinning hook kick.
Yeah, so that was a knockout. Alistair over him as well.
That was
a
a knee. Yeah.
Right? So he's been knocked out at least 3 times.
Punches, never. Yeah,
But he's been TKO'd a lot. He's been TKO'd a lot. Submit a lot.
Okay, don't even talk about submissions. That's not the point of this, obviously. We're talking about like KO punches.
No, I know.
Because I'm talking about this guy's a strong ass chin. Like, that's something like Mark Hunt is known as having like same as.
Can we look up this? Can we look up this rugby guy though? Because I think we're underestimating this rugby guy.
I don't think we are. This guy's is a strong rugby guy. He's not a fighter though.
No, I understand, but like as you said, right? Everybody has a.
Just click that. You already no. Go back one page.
You think so?
You had it. There's the first one right there. Yeah, loses pro boxing return.
Yeah, but I want to see what this rugby guy looks like.
You'll see it, right there.
That's the guy.
Yeah, he's half his size.
Jesus, I don't know why that happened. See, that's one of those things, like you said.
Actually,
right?
you know what? Hob Gadling. I mean, we're live here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hob Gadling. Did you watch this thing?
Hob Gadling. Can you fucking?
Did you see this?
Can you tell us what you fucking know from that area? What's going on, man?
Did you watch that fight at all? Did you any insight on that? Did it look like it was close at all? Like what the fuck happened there? I know you say
can Woodley actually throw combos? Yes, he can. It's not the same kind of distancing that you would have in a boxing match, but I've seen his sparring and I've seen his like bag work, and it looks. You could activate that, right? Woodley is not the same guy as like Askren, where he has no.
No, that's true. That's true.
No striking.
I think that
you could actually just my bad. You could actually make the argument that Woodley primarily relies on his punching ability exclusively.
He's not a combo guy though.
He's not a combo guy, but there's not real long combos going on in an MMA fight. Generally, it's not like boxing, man, where you can hit like 9 combos at once.
I actually don't
have the type of distancing, and you don't have the different arts are being used. You're using a guy like jiu-jitsu guy.
I think Woodley's gonna carry that here. I don't think he's actually gonna throw a lot of combos in this fight. If he's smart, he does what he does in UFC as well. What's Woodley's strongest thing? It's counter punching.
He has a fury. He has like a flurry as well.
His counter hook is like dangerous.
Yeah,
I
the
think
thing I worry about with Woodley is him gassing out early because he's got a fair bit of muscle mass over Jake.
That's also why I think he won't combo punch too much, because he just gas yourself out for what?
Yeah, but you also have like he's got an ego. True. He has the idea that he is a 37-year-old man and he wants to prove himself to a fucking 20-something-year-old. So it's like it's a black against white type of thing. So you got that race thing in there as well, right?
For sure.
Snoop Dogg's like, yeah, my brother's gonna kill him, blah blah blah, this and this. So 100% there's that. Wrapping it up, man.
Yeah,
tell me something that you want to tell our young kings out there.
It's always with the young kings.
Young kings.
Watch out who you hang out with, man. Best advice. Let's see. Hold on. I want to see it. Before we wrap it up, I do want to see what Hob Gadling said about this fight.
Hob Gadling, carry me out.
Oh, no, hold on. Fucking terrifying for 2 rounds. So he was looking terrifying for 2 rounds and was looking to knock the... Yeah, that makes sense. Couldn't do it. Fell in a hole from round 3, and the other guy knows a bit... Okay, so the other guy knows a bit of boxing.
All right.
And he was super fit. I believe that because Mark Hunt... He was never really like the fit guy in UFC.
Never.
Probably worse after he left.
Oh, of course.
Right? So he probably put on a few more Barbies.
Yeah.
Barbies. Probably pronounce that.
Barbs. Make sure you follow us on on TikTok, Funny But Foul, on Instagram, Funny But Foul Podcast, on YouTube, Funny But Foul, Twitch, Funny But Foul. just give us a fucking follow, dude.
Share us,
friends, like us.
Even if
let us know. Let us know in DM us. Let us know what you want us to talk about, man. We're open to all that. One thing I want to tell our young kings,
what you got,
is before you reach out with your dick into the world to grab the closest thing and get your fun in, get your euphoria in, think about how much more that could multiply if you had your things in order. You're fit, you made 100K plus, you had a good balance of your life, your friends, your relations with your family, all that. You are stability. The name of stability in every aspect, you are that. Once you have that, you have so much more say and so much more that you can ask for. And guys, generally, we turn into butterflies later on in life. We don't have the same type of clock as women.
I think I actually got something to add to that. One of the hardest things to do when you're young, and I mean, I still struggle with it now, but I've definitely thought about it more, so I've always tried to improve it, is balance.
Yep.
Balance in life is hard because, especially when you're young, it's and we've mentioned this before in other episodes, like, you tend to lock into something.
Yep.
So if you can get in a relationship with a girl, shit, all your attention is now that girl.
That girl.
So your other shit falls.
Dumb.
So like whether it's your school or your other relationships with your friends or like with your family or like sporting activity, whatever, those things start to like go out of balance.
Yeah.
So maintaining balance while still trying to do everything that you want to do in life is key, because if you can try to keep that consistent, then you're not really going to lose out on too much. So, if you start going out with girls and then you still maintain the balance with like seeing your boys, and then maintain balance with going out to the gym, keeping fit, doing other activities like hobbies and like improving yourself with school or with like if you're just learning a new skill or whatever. If you can keep all that shit balanced, you'll be in a good place.
Absolutely, man. Chase that balance. Don't chase that fucking bust a nut. Last thing about Hobgoblin.
I love that.
Tip.
I love that.
The first part of a woman you enter is her nose. Shower and groom, young kings.
I like that.
Yes.
We'll end up on that one.
Yes, we'll end up on that. Follow us. Give us a like. Make sure you let us know what you want us to talk about, man.